First little stage is actually the fun bit, where it just feels a little bit like Lego. The next stage, it sort of just becomes a grinding headache.
I got approached by Canary Wharf, so we were looking at other sites, but when I came down, it was pretty evident this was a special place. Yeah, we're at Canary Wharf, or Wood Wharf, just outside the site we completed on yesterday. Holding bar stroke fun bar over there, bunket seating here, a huge long line kitchen along here.
No, we really did come in and it was just literally 4 walls and that was it.
So we started from scratch. We got to plan exactly what we wanted within the confines of the space.
It's so hard to imagine how it's going to be a restaurant. It's just bare brick.
It's quite large. The ground floor here is the size of the 3 floors at Fallow. And then we've got a basement downstairs, which is about 3,000 square foot, and a sub-basement that's about 1,000. Yeah, I mean, it's very hard to explain. You get a gut feeling that something's right. You say you'll do it, and then you go all in effect. I've had a site that I slowly built up to this square footage. I've never started with a site this size. I think the largest I've done is 6,000 square foot. This is about 11.
I kind of underestimated how much work that was going to be.
It's a massive site. It's a huge undertaking. Everyone's had the job cut out for them.
So I'm dropping down in the end here.
The scale of the project is quite immense. As you can see, it's a bit of a blank canvas at the moment. So this would be the largest restaurant project that I've worked on. We worked on Fallow a couple of years ago. Whilst it's not as big, that was still fairly intense with a short program, as is this.
Brad's a legend. Brad's basically one of the main project managers, straight builders for Clive Charles.
Brad, if you ask him to do something, he'll by hook or by crook, he'll get it done in the right amount of time, and he'll do it properly, and it won't just be a half-bodged job.
James is on site probably 95% of the time. I'm on site 100% of the time.
We decided to project manage it ourselves.
My wife's a designer. We didn't really want to work together, but her business partner Tim, so Christina and Tim, have worked on the majority of the design.
Fallow is dark, it's sexy, it's buzzy. This place is by the water. It's lighter, it's calmer, and that's what we're trying to get across.
Chris and Tim really wanted to work with 3D printed side, so that just came to the forefront pretty quickly.
So yeah, we're at Gossamer City Studios, so we're going to see the first mock-up of our 3D printed coral reef.
It's polylactic acid, which is fermented sugar, and it's with a white filament as a sort of for the sort of flame protection of it. So we're printing a set for a well-known high-end department store.
So that's the central column in the middle of the restaurant.
So the grill's there?
And that, your grill's behind there. Yeah. So the kitchen equipment isn't behind.
Yeah.
That's what it may look like.
We're given a blank canvas.
Yeah, and then we thought we wanted to make it something that nobody else in London has seen before, right? So let's find a new technology, come up with a new surface, and try it. Because you guys are that kind of chefs. Yeah. You're willing to try, take a risk. So yeah.
It's so honestly, I've literally just been thinking, because I've been planning the menu now for a while, and we're doing quite well on the development side, but I've not been thinking about it from a restaurant point of view.
I quite like this.
They stand out quite like.
For the stalky ones. Yeah.
Okay.
But basically, I can see all of the column that we've just seen there being designed and being printed. We can see completely in front of you in its finished form. Absolutely stunning. It's insane to see the level of detail that you're going to see. Proper new wave, like.
Yeah, it's fucking cool. The trunk kind of coal design will come on this main column here. And then there's a huge chef's counter along here, probably one of the biggest chef's counters I've ever seen. And the whole kind of bar front of that will be coal too, printed coal.
We're kids with a honeypot, basically. We don't have anyone telling us what to do. So Will goes off on that tangent with one designer. Chris and Tim go off with another designer on that tangent. We decided to do an aeroponics wall. And then you end up with a mezzanine wrapped in a hydroponics aeroponics wall.
It's going to be a bit noisy. So this is our mezzanine floor level. This is going to be for a private dining area and a hydroponic growing room. It's all been structurally engineered to take the weight of flooring, joinery, The hydroponic room, any systems we put up here, tables, chairs, people, it won't go anywhere. Very solid.
So the wall's going to be growing some amazing produce. Thyme, we've got basil, growing strawberries in the middle of winter, and padron peppers. So loads of really, really cool stuff that's going to be featuring on the menu.
The big difficulty we've had with the mezzanine or the gantry with the living wall, we have to figure out how we actually support that weight. And we've got engineers on it, but we're looking at a system that could weigh as much as 2 tons across, only about 15 meters.
Which was so timely and expensive, the cage that I had to build was all custom metalwork.
We're concerned there's a lot of moving parts, but ultimately it should be a stunning feature as you walk through the door and very practical. There's a saying in our industry, twice as much and twice as long. We are not twice as much, we're just about sticking within budget, but it's probably taking us 3 times longer than we wanted it to. Issues just keep coming. You can't focus on the issues, you've got to focus on solutions, and I think that's the thing. There are lots of problems, there are some hideous problems, there are stuff that will keep you awake all night if you let it, but ultimately every problem has a solution, so you've just got to work around it.
I can see how project costs spiral because it's pretty bloody hard to open a restaurant this big without a lot of experience. The context of building a site like this is like inflation's never been higher, food inflation's never been higher. Borrowings probably to hospitality businesses is at an all-time low.
At the beginning, there's not a lot of outgoing. Although you've got this huge 12,000 square foot place in front of you, nothing's actually happening with it. You're just doing drawings with architects, you're doing drawings with kitchen designers. Then obviously, once we got further down the line, bills started coming out.
James guarantees the finances are going to be in place. I have to trust him. We're in no other position not to. Kind of a bit of blind apprehension about what the hell's going on in the world. Every time you read the news, there's an impending financial crash.
Every penny of profit we've made at Fallow is on the line on this project. We are churning through our own reserves to keep this project going. On paper, we're fucked. There's another way of putting it. I was talking to 7 different banks. One finally gave me the right terms for a loan. If you think we've got a successful business, it took 7 approaches to get 1 loan.
The thing is, when you agree a loan like this, you often agree a rent-free period because there's an acknowledgement that the fit-out is going to take a certain amount of time. It gets to a point where you're paying rent for a site that's not operational, and then it can be very expensive. Delays in project costs, especially when you're paying staff, you're talking hundreds of thousands of pounds.
20% over budget, we're a couple of months late, there's been a bit too much procrastination there, and that's now having a knock-on effect. Yeah, there's a lot of kind of 20,000, 100,000, 50,000 pound issues right now, multiple across the board. When you're doing such an independent build, some people underestimate the jobs. We're very demanding too. We're not a copy and paste, we're not a chain. We're not making our life easy, but hopefully the end result will be better than the average.
Most places are, this is what we do, this is how we do it. This is why every Pret is the same. It's why every Hawksmoor is the same. It's why every dish is the same. We're not quite like that. We intend to make everything we do a little bit more unique.
The kitchen was a bit of the hold-up. Just trying to get it perfect, chopping and changing all these little things, which then obviously there's certain things I've forgotten, certain things I missed, so let's keep going back and adding them in. Everyone has always said how amazing it is at Fallow that you can see what the chefs are doing and it feels like a stage or a performance in the middle of the dining room. We wanted that to be the same here, so we thought that the grill with the flames and everything in the centre would be perfect. We wanted the kitchen to be a focal point. You go into the restaurant, it's almost like you're in the theatre, like the kitchen is in the centre. It's well lit, and then everyone, you're sitting around, but it gives a buzz to the room. This building was completely blank, so we were like, do we put the kitchen in the basement? Does the kitchen go around the corner? It could go in that corner, it could have gone anywhere. So we've gone with the kitchen across the line, because as I spoke about, we wanted it to be real theatrical. But obviously with this line kitchen, as you can tell, this kitchen is taking up a vast majority of space. We're obviously then losing space in the dining room. So it's been a real battle of how much space to give to the dining room, how much stuff to give back to the kitchen.
It was very challenging on how we get the kitchen in the room. If you look at flow, customers, staff, rubbish going out, putting a huge long line kitchen in effect a long building could have restricted and not gelled.
from back here, this way is all kitchen. And then on this side of this, we're gonna have a sweeping curved table.
The interesting thing to note is that you're going to be able to see
Straight through, exactly that. Yeah.
all the chefs are always on show. So there's no hiding anything. It's completely transparent.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm a bit nervous about that. To be honest.
Once the kitchen went in, then all the extra finishes started going on top of that. It all happened pretty quick once it started.
It's sort of like jigsaw, and all those plans should measure up and come to reality. So equipment goes in last, realistically, so nothing gets damaged, and then any sort of specific flooring, any sort of like final plumbing works, connecting all the water, connecting all the electrics to the right equipment, connecting all the taps.
It takes a huge amount of skill, but it's everything coming together that makes a great place. Nothing works without all the parts, if that makes sense.
The build doesn't stop when the customers come in. The build is still active, you know, much past that deadline that you've set yourself.
This is just...
Yeah, these are banquet seat, and then there'll be seats and tables around there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's some chrome rows going in around, and then there's a huge sign going at the front.
I love the 3D printing, which is the height of the technology, and how that fits in with the marble, which is the oldest technology. I mean, we bought one block of marble, we got 32 sheets out of it. We've got 40 metres of marble counters, and we're building this for 20 years. We're not building it to refurbish in 5 years. This will be the best counter that I'll ever build in my life. You know, I've built probably 5 in the past. This one it's going to be special.
But for now, if you want to do it,
no, you don't have to. But we're going to do this tile to make it neat, are we? I see that little one crack over there with a bit too much light coming out of it. You don't design and build as you go. Everyone knows it. We do. And because of that, it's always evolving. There's always a multitude of little details that we're trying to finish off. You know, we probably will never finish this place off to where I call it perfect, but I'll get it to 98% there.
I still don't know if we got it right. I think it's very good where it is, but I think the framework is there, and I think we've done a good job. It's a good framework.
Right, so the build is pretty much done. Let's go in and have a look. Right, so this is the main dining room. So have our 3D printed coral reef here. All of these little impressions all over, which is the coral reef, and then you've got also that all over the side there. And then we've got these stunning panels which are illuminated that run all the way along the chef's counter as well. Raw iron steel that's gonna hold up all the glassware, all the crockery like that, and that's the final finishing touch for the whole bar. Hopefully what people are gonna be coming and having a breakfast to, so it's like a really nice open water scene. So this is a show kitchen. Obviously we've got planchas, induction hobs, we've got our salamander, this is the hot pass. Everyone's just getting set up for service. This is a skewer section, another plancha, another induction, fryer, pizza oven here, pizza dough section, flatbread section. So this is the aeroponic wall that's kind of finished now, just started to grow. We've got this, the aeroponic section is basically starting to grow these beautiful French beans, so we can go up there now. This is our nursery, so we've got nasturtium, Vietnamese coriander, Thai basil. These are our padron peppers. Volcanic cucumber, just to withstand the heat of the pizza oven. These are all French beans. So we've got the pastry section here. This is the cold larder section, hot larder section. This is the garnish bench. And then this is still not quite finished yet, but the chef counter that we were building downstairs.
But yeah, I mean, how do I feel? I'm proud and knackered. It's probably the best 2 words I could, summarise with. We know every single inch of this place. We put in every floor, every sprinkler, every ceiling, every bit of electrical wire, every bit of plumbing. You know, we have no excuse on this. It's all on us.
I'd say the main worry is right now. All the staff are employed, all the bills are on, gas on, electricity's on.
Yeah, I'm super proud of the project, but it would never be celebrated now. It's nice to get it open. I'm more intimidated about that challenge than I am about walking into an empty site. because really the hard work does kind of start now.